Hello everyone, welcome back to another episode of r/JustNoMil. In today's episode, MIL keeps insisting on buying/doing things I don't want. Crazy Mill wants to meet my family. MIL wants to make our baby's first Christmas ornament. Before we get started, make sure to subscribe so you will never miss a video. So let's get started. MIL keeps insisting on buying/doing things I don't want. So recently, I gave birth to a baby boy, and have been using his sister's old clothes for him for his newborn phase. I'd say 7 articles of clothing are definitely gender neutral and about 2 of them are leaning feminine, while the rest are girly. I usually use the gender neutral stuff, but sometimes his diaper leaks or he spits up, so sometimes he wears pink while the clothes are being washed. As a response to this, my MIL sent us 7 articles of newborn boy clothes. It seems kind of a lot, but I thank her and use them. My daughter grew out of newborn clothes in a month, and at the rate he's growing, he'll grow out of them very soon. I tell her thanks, but after this we don't need any more newborn clothes. However, we had a bad day where he pees, poops, and barfs on outfit after outfit after outfit, and I post something on social media with him wearing his sister's clothes. She immediately buys 8 more pajamas. I have trouble refusing gifts, how I've been raised, so I thank her but insisted that we don't need more clothes, but she buys them anyways. I know she definitely wants to see him wear it, so I'll return these for the next size up. Still a pain though, since she didn't get me a receipt because she doesn't want me to return it. My husband has no problem standing up to his mom, so he just tells her to stop sending so much clothes. She then goes off on a rant about how I'm too practical and how my son wearing girl clothes is going to confuse my children. My MIL is a kind and generous woman, but she's very insistent and steadfast in her beliefs. It's not even that I don't want any more clothes in general, it's that I don't want lots of clothes that he's going to grow out of soon. We've had these same issues in the past with our daughter, but I feel it's gotten worse. My MIL bought a closet full of 0 to 6 months clothes for my first kid. She came out 9 pounds and 7 ounces, and none of them fit. This is why I don't buy newborn clothes for family/friends having babies. My own son was 8 pounds 13 ounces, and barely fit into newborn clothes for about 2 days. I figure they're already going to get newborn clothes, so I try to buy older. If I even get clothes at all, I much prefer gifting things like loveys, and things that can be used regardless of the baby's size. Same for diapers. I ended up with so many diapers that my son couldn't wear. I can't really blame the people who gave them. I was a teeny tiny thing back then, and everyone assumed that I'd have a preemie, until my son waited the full 40 weeks and came out much bigger than everyone expected, myself included. Confront one issue at a time. The gendered clothing stuff is a problem, but is I think not the central issue at the moment. It's her reason this time for thinking she knows better than you do about how to parent. MIL, I love how generous you are towards your grandchildren, and I understand that when you buy them things, it's because you want the best for them. One of the values we are raising our kids with is to not use more than you need, and if you have more than you need, to give it to someone who does need it. I don't expect you to know what we do and don't need, although please feel free to ask, so when I tell you please stop buying clothes in newborn sizes, please listen. Any more newborn size clothing will be given to someone who needs it. How my son wearing girl clothes is going to confuse my children. There aren't girl clothes, they're your son's clothes. Your baby isn't confused. His sister isn't confused by clothes. And I don't really believe that you or your husband are confused by her words/rant. This isn't about pink. It's not about gifts. It's not about politeness. Stop letting grandma bully your children and you. We just had a baby girl and were given hand-me-down clothes from 2 friends who had babies before us, girl and boy. When we run out of clothes, we are happy to use the boy clothes. In fact, our little girl actually looks fantastic in darker colors like blue and gray. Why blue has to be only for boys is ridiculous. The concept of boy clothes versus girl clothes is a completely made-up construct. I just can't with grandmas who are obsessed with gender. She's not being kind, OP, and she's not being generous. Her actions are meant to influence you into dressing your child in the way she wants. While you can absolutely be graceful in this situation, you can also be direct. You can absolutely tell her that you will not accept anything else from her. Period. If she doesn't like tough, put her in timeout. It sounds as if you need to work on decluttering and boundaries, OP. Practice setting and keeping little boundaries. No, thank you, I don't want decaf to unwanted drinks and favors. DD/DS is going to wear this. Ask DH for photos this week. When those don't feel unbearably uncomfortable, you can move on to that doesn't work for us and no, thank you, which is a complete sentence. Did you know that's how sexual predators pick their victims? I know you refused to drink, but you looked thirsty, so I brought you this. It'd be rude not to drink it now I've gone to all that trouble. And someone who is going to be unable to stick up for him/herself takes the drink, and the predator has found their next victim. It is kinder in the long run to set and hold boundaries. MIL is grinding away at your goodwill. She thinks she's helping and will carry on. Eventually, she'll stomp across something and you'll lose it and it will be a drama. Practice using your words. Teach your children that you adjust your own oxygen mask first before helping others. I am a follower of Flylady, and she believes in letting our excess stuff go to bless others. Those two small, blue PJs? Pass them on to Goodwill, the Salvation Army, a DV shelter. Someone who is desperate to clothe her baby will be so grateful for them. Those clothes that fit before your amazing body started making whole new human beings but now shame you when you open your wardrobe? Send them to warm and flatter someone else. When you need new clothes, they'll be there for you. Spend 15 minutes a day putting clutter out of your home. Your spidey senses are working fine, OP, trust them. Thank her politely for thinking of you, and pop it into a litter bin before it gets into your home. Apologies if I've gone too directive. I would thank her graciously for the clothes, because that's what I do for all gifts, and then I would continue doing exactly what I was doing with no regard for some passive-aggressive control tactic she may have been trying for. I would actually probably make sure he is seen in the girl clothes more often to make sure she knows that I am fine with that and it's not going to change. Make her say the quiet part out loud if she dares, then you can shut her regressive beliefs down. Plus, who knows, she may send you enough clothes you can return for store credit or exchange for size up that she will buy the rest of the things you need to fill in his baby wardrobe as he grows. Crazy Mill wants to meet my family. Mill is desperate to meet my parents because myself and my partner have been together for a year and a half now and are very serious about each other. However, her crazy behavior has made myself and my partner not want to introduce them to each other. And also my parents have expressed to me that they do not wish to meet her as they are furious about some of the things she has said about me. For example, she accused me of child abuse because her grandson, my stepson, who has severe behavior problems due to his birth mother's neglect, starting hitting me and acting out towards me. Mill also refuses to accept that my stepson has behavior problems, so is furious that we have decided to get him therapy. There is many other crazy stuff she's done, and I know my dad won't hold in anything he has to say to her, so it will end in a huge argument. I have anxiety at the thought of them meeting, but she won't drop it and take no for an answer. My partner deals with her crazy behavior, but she said she would start messaging me asking for my mom's number. I hate confrontation and saying no, so I don't know what I will do if she messages me. Is it okay to never introduce them? I'd let your boyfriend tell her the truth. It won't be a good idea because they know how you treat their daughter. And they aren't happy about it. And they won't tolerate your bad behavior. Our parents met and spoke to each other once. 25 years ago on our wedding day. My Mill is lovely, my mother has her moments. Neither feel any desire or need to communicate with each other. The truth from her son might shut her up. Mom, her parents have no desire to meet you due to the way you treat their daughter. It's not going to happen, so drop it. Then the consequences of her broaching the subject again is to leave or hang up immediately. We've discussed that this is no longer a topic. We're leaving/hanging up. Goodbye. My parents met my MIL once. On our wedding day. It was not pretty. Perfect. These exact words. I want to remind you that you absolutely need your mother's permission to give her number to anyone, including your MIL. I also get that you don't like confrontation, but you are going to have to find your spine and stand up for yourself and your mom. So when MIL asks you for it, you can honestly and simply say, "My mom doesn't want you to have her number." When MIL starts raging, you say, "MIL, this exact behavior is why my mom doesn't want you to have her number." MIL will probably respond, "What behavior? I'm just asking for her number," and you then say, "But I already told you no, and now you are getting angry at me." A reasonable adult would accept no as an answer. This X100. Stick to the script. Someone who accused me of child abuse would never speak to me again. They would never have any information about me through anyone else, either. I would expect my partner to be so horrified and disgusted by the accusation that they would immediately cease contact. I would not offer up members of my family as additional sacrifices to the altar of her insanity. Here's the thing. She wants to meet your parent after she accused you of abuse. This is a hill to die on. You keep that very healthy boundary. I do think if she reaches out to you that you respond with, "You have made your opinion of me very clear and I don't want my wonderful parents to be drawn into the drama. I have not told them how you treat me yet, I was hoping you would come to your senses. Please let this go because the answer will not change." Or just block her. Why respond to a crazy accuser? Forget your family. After what she accused you of, you shouldn't be in contact with her at all. Block her on your phone. There is no reason for her to call you. I know my dad won't hold in anything he has to say to her, so it will end in a huge argument. A part of me thinks it might be fun to watch your dad eviscerate her. If you met in public, such as a restaurant, an argument might be avoided, or at least tempered down somewhat. But at least you could all leave if she got unbearable. Leave her sputtering by herself. So many posts on this sub have examples of JNs who don't ever seem to get called out. Nobody dares to tell them they're assholes. Not that it would change the JNs, but it would be satisfying to see them being told that. At least MIL would know that your parents aren't fans of hers and can't be manipulated. That's what her need to contact them is likely all about. Trying to get them on her side against you. But your parents don't want to meet her, so you need to respect that. Just don't reply to any request for their number. Ignore them. If she confronts you about it, tell her your parents are very private people. I've been with my husband for almost 18 years. My in-laws have never met my parents and never will. My father-in can never forgive my father for my childhood. Father was an abusive drunk. Although we have worked through it, FIL can't forgive and would not be able to keep himself from saying something. My mother is, well, *T crazy is the closest thing I can think of to describe the woman who gave birth to me. Even if I were still talking to her and before I cut her out of my life, I refused to let her near my in-laws. My in-laws are near angels and they don't deserve to have that kind of person in their lives. Not to mention my mother already decided she never liked my MIL, I believe, because the way my MIL took me in, no questions asked, supported me when I was getting my GED and first adult job, she fed me, clothed me, I literally owned 1 pair of pants and 4 shirts when I moved in, all my money went to rent, bills and my mom and her BF booze and drug needs, mothered me. I know my case is a bit more extreme than yours, but the point remains, you get to decide who is in your life and how much. That includes friends or family not meeting and staying in their own spaces within your world. MIL wants to make our baby's first Christmas ornament. My Mil called to say she was gonna make my baby's first Christmas ornament and buy her a first Christmas stocking for her house. I got a bit upset. As petty as it is, I bought a first Christmas stocking right after she told me for our house. I didn't get to do a lot of firsts because our daughter was in the NICU for the first month and a half since she was born, emergency sec/severe preeclampsia. It just upsets me that she doesn't see how important this would be for us. Am I being overdramatic? Is buying a first Christmas stocking for in-laws' house normal? As long as the stocking stays in her house, I wouldn't worry about it. And lots of babies have multiple first Christmas ornaments. I think my oldest child has 2 or 3, and the same for my younger. Just remind yourself that her firsts don't count, yours and your husband's do. My MIL usually a great MIL tried to feed my baby bananas first. When? Don't know. Doesn't count. Her baby book has the date we first fed her bananas. It's the winners who write the histories. You have the baby, so you're going to win. This carrot, don't get caught up in any technicalities with people like this. Either all of you and your husband's firsts are exclusively the only ones that count. I've read over all the comments, and it honestly made me feel better. I do realize that she's just excited and she doesn't mean any harm, and I don't want to make her feel any less important. I just want to emphasize that after my experience with preeclampsia, I most likely will not be having any more kids, so this is really important to me as well, and I don't think I should put my feelings aside to please anyone else, especially since I almost died during childbirth. At the same time, I want my baby to feel loved. I don't want my jealousy to end up hurting my baby. I'm just going to let her keep the first Christmas ornament and stocking at her house, but keep my boundary with picking out her first Christmas outfit myself. Thank you to everyone who commented. I do feel better about the situation. Let her keep it at her house, encourage it even. When my brother and I got the stockings down on Christmas morning, it was the stockings that had been hung up at home with my parents. So she's assuming UNLO will spend Christmas at her house, or something? That's decently presumptuous. Let her waste her money. You build the holiday traditions for your nuclear family. She wanted us to spend the night. I said no, and that we're gonna have her first Christmas at home and then we'd visit her later in the day, and she got upset. That's when she brought up the stocking and ornament. At this point, I'd say it's your own home. Not Mil's. She can have all that stuff at her house, and you can have all your first stuff at your house. Yours will ultimately be more special to both you and your child in the long run. I say don't sweat the small stuff. Just do a first ornament for your house and a first stocking. Let MIL have her stocking there. The one getting filled with toys and treats the kid will enjoy for years is the one at your house. Hi Mom, OP mentioned that you're interested in buying Elo's first ornament and Christmas stocking. Whilst I know you're incredibly excited to be a grandparent, please be mindful that a lot of the firsts were taken from OP and I, as my baby was in NICU. So in future, I'd appreciate you not declaring you're doing a first without running it past us. Thanks. We would appreciate the respect as Elo's parents and the opportunity to do some firsts of our own. Some firsts? Why would you lead her to believe she'd get any, and you'd only want some? Cute bauble idea. Buy the empty ones, measure your daughter and cut a length of Christmas ribbon, then put that inside the bauble with a little note saying First Christmas, or paint that on the outside, depending on how crafty you are. Then every year you can do a new one to add to the tree and pull them out to be amazed at how freaking tiny she used to be. That's such a lovely idea. I really regret not doing something special like that when my daughter was little. Maybe I'll suggest it to her when she decides the time is right for sproglets of her own. I can't see this being a problem if it's at her house. It's not as though she's coming to your house with it, ripping down your stocking and replacing it with hers. It sounds more like the start of a lovely tradition, and Elo will look forward to going there for more presents. Win/win. You've had a rough year, and I do think you're seeing more than is actually happening. She's not replacing what you're doing. She wants to do something nice at her house. I say let her. We've had stockings for kids since they were born. They're tweens now, and it's a nice tradition that they look forward to. Also have stockings for adult daughters and their husbands. Actually, the daughters' stockings are still the ones they had as little girls, and we got matching masculine ones for their husbands after they were married. If you made it to the end of the video, thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe and share, and we will see you in the next video.